Another day, another waterfall. Welcome back to Tierra Querida. As you may know, Mount Tahoma/Mount Rainier has a ton of waterfalls, and today we will be heading out to Comet Falls. So if you're interested, keep on watching and welcome back. This is Tierra Querida. Because this waterfall is located inside the Mount Tahoma/Mount Rainier National Park, you will need a pass, and you can purchase the America the Beautiful pass there on site as long as there's a park ranger, or you can purchase a day pass. I would encourage you to go ahead and just purchase the annual pass because you just take maybe like 2 or 3 visits to the park to make up the cost for the entire year. The first tip that I have for you for this trail is to get there early. You do not want to get stuck in this long line just to get inside the park. And this trail is actually not that far from the entrance, so you want to get there early to find parking because it is very limited. And I don't encourage you to park on the side of the road, but that is also an option. Again, like most of the trails that I upload videos about, is my main tip is to make sure you get there early. Getting there early will be especially important if you go during peak season or if you happen to go during a weekend. I went on a Sunday morning, got there around 10:15, and actually got the very last parking spot. So again, I know I sound like a broken record, but try to get there early to avoid having to walk a mile plus to get to the trailhead, or having to park on the side of the road. This trail is about 3.5 miles round trip, but because of the almost 1,300 feet of elevation gain, you will want to make sure that you bring enough water with you. I use my Osprey backpack as always that has a water pouch in there, and I had plenty of water, and I also try to hydrate before I head to my trails with a small water bottle and a hydration mix that I will link down in the description box. Another thing that I took with me for this trail is just some light snacks, some trail mix, some fruit is also really good. I like to hang out at the end of the trail and just take in the beautiful views. If you're interested in the snacks in the backpack that I bring with me, I will link them down in the description. If I forget to link them, make sure to remind me down in the comments. Also, make sure to bring some really good grip shoes because there is quite a bit of loose rocks and a few exposed roots. And if you remember, I actually forgot, so I'm giving you this fair warning. Bring some hiking poles. I know they may look a little bit silly, but they can come in handy, especially with the areas that have a lot of loose rocks, and some areas can be a little bit steep and whatnot. So they're always just good to have. Even if you don't use them, just stick them in your backpack, and it's better to have them than to not have them. This trail does not have a restroom, but you can head up to Paradise either before or after to use the restroom, or stop at one of the restrooms that are located on the way up. They're usually pretty dirty, so if you can, hold it to the end of your trail and head up to Paradise, and then that way you can see Mount Rainier while you're there at the park. Parking is usually one of my biggest tips, and it's a repeating tip that I have for you guys, but for this specific trail, a good insect repellent will be crucial. There was a ton of bugs and also some, I think they were like horseflies, but they kept biting me. I didn't have any like weird bite marks afterwards, like a mosquito type bite, but it definitely stung and it was not a good time. There were not bees, I know that for sure. But yeah, make sure to bring a good repellent with you, and just drench yourself in some good bug spray. I like this trail because you come across this really nice bridge, and you can see some small waterfalls, and you can just sit here, take a water break before you head up to the main falls, or come across a second bridge we'll talk about later in this video. Alright, so earlier I mentioned a second bridge, and this bridge is really narrow, and it also has a waterfall in the back, which is really neat, and you can use this as another break point, and just be really careful if you bring your little ones because the bridge is really narrow, and It only has one handle, so you have to wait for, if there's other people crossing, I would suggest that you wait, let them cross, and then you can cross, because again, it's very, very narrow. A lot of people were sitting down and having a snack or their lunch. Just be cautious with the loose rocks, and then also make sure to note that the trail doesn't end here. That is actually not Comet Falls. There is a small sign that says Comet Falls is a little bit further up, so make sure you don't stop here and you continue up the trail. Comet is about another 5 to 10 minute walk to the very end of the trail. I know you're probably tired by now because of the elevation gain, but I promise you it is absolutely worth it to get all the way to the very end and enjoy the beautiful waterfall. On the way up to the trail, you may come across some really cool mushrooms and some pikas that you can hear in the back, kind of far away. Some can come up pretty close, but they'll be meeping, and they're really cool to see. They'll be hiding in the rocks or in between the rocks, and I came across one that before I learned that they were pikas, I thought it was a mountain mice or mountain rat or something, but it came up to pretty close to me, and then I got scared, and then it got spooked and took off. But they're really cute, and it's cool to see them come out and then jump all over the rocks and kind of get around wherever they need to get to. Make sure to keep an eye out for these mushrooms. Some of them will be on the trees and some of them will be on the ground. I found two that were pretty cool. One that had these little cracks on them on the cap, and then the other one that is about the size of my hand. So you can come across some really large mushrooms at any of these trails. You just have to keep an eye out for them. As a reminder, no pets are allowed here at the national park unless you have a service animal, which is quite unfortunate because I would have loved to take in Lou with me for this trail, but you know what, the rules are the rules and I respect that. Alright, that's all for today, folks. If you want to see my top 3 favorite hikes at Rainier before this one, make sure to check out that video. Other than that, I will see you on the next one. Bye!